Okay, we are good. Hello. We are doing another trade recap of what happened today. So it's Friday, August 29th, end of summer. You know it's end of summer when the CNE commercials come on. Rip. Um, yeah, let's get into it. So we had doo. I took a loss on this day. This is a really good lesson learned today, or the cementification of a previously learned lesson that should have been in my head, but nonetheless. I was kind of bullish on the day a little bit because we had inversed this daily fair value gap. ES made all-time highs right here, but just seeing that big rejection after we swept previous all-time highs, I thought we were going to maybe get a little bit of a retrace. Um, so pretty much what happened was, so yeah, market, this is 9 o'clock open. On the hourly, we had data highs, data lows, from 8:30 news. We had a 5 minute right off the bat, but so we took data lows. This 15-minute intermediate low happened. We had an SMT for a little bit. I thought maybe we would go up. We had this hourly intermediate low, another hourly intermediate low. Whoops. And then we just kept dumping, 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 dumping. So I'm thinking, okay, where's the draw now? Maybe previous day low right here. Um, Still maybe waiting for an SMT to go up potentially. We had this data lows, which was from NVIDIA's earnings on Wednesday at market close, that you have to keep in mind for. That ended up being the draw. We never ended up hitting down here. We hit it on both ES and NQ. So pretty much let's just get a little bit into it now. So 9:50, 10 o'clock. We got no continuation short, none. So this is where stuff started to get a little funky here. This is where my trade started to happen. So as you can see, we swept it on NQ right here at 10:10. So past the 950 macro, nothing ended up happening. We swept it here, and yeah, we retraced. Some people took, because it's the last day of my mentor's live, so some people took a 30-second right here to go long to these 5 minutes. Right here, they took a 30-second long, break even, full TP. I didn't, um, just because I still thought I have a problem with not taking positions because ES didn't take its draw. So ES still didn't take that data lows, that black line here and black line here that NQ did. So I was concerned about us going for another resweep down. We didn't even have an SMT. If we had an SMT, I would have been a little more confident in it. And then I got to stop doing this. I think this was a problem. I marked out these two smaller 15-minute lows that weren't even intermediate lows. This one was just a regular all 15 low. Uh, this one wasn't either because it swept that low. So in my head, I marked out these two targets for us to potentially hit again. Hold on a second. Yeah, sorry, sister came in. So I was worried about this 15 minutes still getting hit, but like these really shouldn't matter that much, especially when this data lows was the draw. So as of now, we had an SMT. So it's like if you have an SMT now, just take the entry. So we had a 30-second. I didn't take this, and then where I took my entry. So this hit take profit, full close. Um, so where I took my entry was right here, and I'll get into why this was a bad trade after. So we hit that 5 minute. We hit that 5 minute. We opened up this 3 minute short. Now, my idea was that because ES still hadn't taken this data lows that we were currently SMTing with, and we had those two 15-minute red lines here, I thought, oh, look, we still have some liquidity to take. But the problem was is that targeting, I put a limit order, so I got in right here, which was, I guess, another better thing I did. I limited my risk. Instead of targeting a protected low that already swept liquidity, um, this automatically just went straight to stop loss. It I got in right there, boom, and I didn't see a lick of profit. So this was just a terribly wrong idea. And it was terribly wrong because if we hit play, we need more time for price to accumulate these orders. So 1040, yeah, so I'll stop it there. Um, we needed to build more LRL. If you want to look here, this is an example that they were talking about today in the live where this was a failed setup. This is what I did. It's not valid because we're targeting liquidity that already, this line's the liquidity, right? We're targeting this that already swept out that. So it's very high resistance. If we missed that liquidity and we got a fair value gap out, then that would have been better. But I was just so in my head about ES not hitting it yet. I just totally forgot that NQ doesn't have to hit that down. So it's like I that narrative was wrong. Um, I was totally okay with the risk. I de-risked. Instead of risking like 1.5, I put it down to 1%. So I traded micros. I did 6 micros, which is zero point 0.6 of one mini. Minis are more than micros. Um, anyways, so that was good. I lowered my risk there, but I was still very focused on ES not hitting that low that I thought we were just going to immediately take this 3 minute, 5 minute continuation. We hit 5 minutes and down. I my head was trying to get the right idea, but it wasn't right. We needed to accumulate more orders as we see here. So this is what we want to do. It was about 10, what time is it? Yeah, 10:20. A lot of my good back tests that I've seen recently from reviewing my wins of back testing have been around like 1040, 1038, 1043, even just a little bit before that 1050 macro. Like if I waited for the 1050 macro, it would have been already gone. And the funny thing is, we did end up hitting those two 15-minute like red lines I had. So like my head was in the right place, I just wasn't aligned properly. So when we have a big fucking dump like this, of how much did we dump on open? Like 200 points. Um, you're not taking the very first 5 minute continuation down is kind of risky because especially after we hit that session liquidity here, that data lows. It's really risky because we just need to build up more orders, and usually around 1050, 1040 is when we're going to deliver. Um, so the move, I'll show you the proper move that I should have gone in on if I just waited. This was the move here. So we had a 2 minute gap right here, and you could have either market ordered this. We were about, how far were we? 52. We're about 10 points down. You could have limited order that. You would have got filled anyways. Stops at the high. No SMT with us. And now we could target. I would have targeted this low here because, again, this was that protected low. Um, but if we truly were bullish and we had, or bearish and we had those targets, you could have left a runner to here. But this is what I would have done. And I did have it on my other account here because I already hit my max drawdown for my fundeds. I just went to my real account here, and I think I was distracted because I did not take that 2 minute when I should have. That was the proper move. I noticed it when it was like right here, and I was like, oh fuck, or maybe the next candle I noticed it. I didn't really have time to size up and see what it was. I didn't want to jump into something. So I missed this trade because I was typing on one of my chats about the loss that I had just taken. So that's another thing I got to focus on and get better at is distractions. Yes, like I turned my phone off or I didn't turn it off, but I put it on focus mode and I put it away. So I wasn't on my phone the whole time, which was good. Um, I just still got distracted and thought that, well, nothing's happening, market's kind of toast. And then a play ended up happening at 1050. So I think I should stay focused until 1050, even if that means like not typing on shit. I hadn't looked at the charts in probably like 10 minutes or so because I was I think I was maybe journaling or doing something else, but that led me to miss a pretty good move on my live account or on my CFD account I could have got. But yeah, good lesson learned. When I took that 3 minute here, I I wasn't nervous. I wasn't scared. I accepted the risk because I was risking less than yesterday. So I didn't feel nervous at all. I was more so just pissed that it didn't work. Like when this had stop loss, I was like, fuck. I was pissed. I don't like losing, right? Nobody does. But yeah, really good lesson here. I kind of had the same mistake about 2 weeks ago, I think, which I shouldn't have made the same mistake again. And I had been reviewing, I guess just not good enough. There was another mistake where I took the first 5 minute down, or I think Blake was just talking about how you shouldn't take the first 5 minute down um, after sweeping a low because we just need to build more liquidity. Yeah, it was the Wednesday of last week. I'm just looking here. We had the exact same type of thing where we swept liquidity down here. Uh, you don't want to take the first 5 minute down. He says the only thing he wants to take is like this type of setup where we go higher and we build more LRL, then go down to previous day low. You don't want to just target that. Um, and then yeah, nothing ended up happening, I don't think. But yeah, yeah, that's it. That's that trade recap. Kind of sucks because it was a pretty free day. Um, Definitely need to get better at looking at these 30 seconds when they're appropriate and not like we had an SMT here at now. We had an SMT with that data low. So just take what the market's showing you, man. We had good displacement, good targets, good break even. Like this was mint, and then I would have been done for the day. Um, and yeah, so just like stop worrying about ES not taking something when NQ did. NQ usually is like the main mover. But yeah, that's it. You know, Blake stops doing the mentor guy. His live streams today was the last live stream, so I'll be on my own from here on in, which I'll have to battle a lot with. You know, keeping focused and distractions and whatnot, and just like watching setups and having my own bias and just locking in. You know, treat the market as this is my hour and a half, 2 hours in the morning where I can just solely focus on one thing and not have any other distractions. So take that as an opportunity instead of something that like you hate. Um, yeah, it should be good. You know, my funded account's a little poopy right now. It's at like 48.9, I think. I think we're pretty much either negative on the week. Yeah, we're just slightly negative on the week. Um, this shouldn't say one trade. This actually should say more. So yeah, we're actually going to be a little more negative on the week, but what's one red week in the grand scheme of things? You know, I'm going to be trading for the next fucking probably like 5 years, maybe 3 years, 5 years, depending. Um, and I've been working pretty hard the last couple days. I know it's just days, but a lot better than before. So just sticking constant to my routine. I got a journal this afterwards. Just write everything down. I wrote a whole bunch of shit in other places. Just have it all down totally in one place, which is this. And yeah, that's about it. So thanks for watching. Thanks for watching the grind. Yeah, that's about it.